Hey guys, it's Fee, and I'm here with, well, an emotional update, because that's about all I've got right now. But, it's been a week, and this is Fee after the storm. I know I posted the last couple of, well, we'll call them TTC videos now. Not that long ago, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, but really those videos were about what happened last week, Tuesday and Wednesday, and now here we are, Wednesday again, and it's been a week. And in that week I've had a lot of soul searching and a lot of digging going on upstairs in this brain of mine. I had so much up there. I haven't gotten through all of it, but I think I've gotten through the important parts, and I wanted to put that out here. I hate to say it, but I think the second loss was maybe just a teeny bit easier than the first one. It's true that the journey hardens you, I think, and the first time I definitely didn't have the support that I have. All of you guys are wonderful. All the comments and all the support, it really, really helps. And it really helps being able to come out here and just talk and know that there are people that will understand. And, well, the first time I think I was still in what I'll call the infertility closet. I really wasn't talking to a lot of anybody about it, or talking to anybody about the journey at all, because I don't know why. Probably just because I wasn't comfortable with it yet, or I didn't want to feel like the broken outcast. I know we've all felt that way. So my point is, a lot has changed since the first loss and now this one. There was a little over a year in between the two losses, so yeah, maybe the journey just hardened me a little bit. It still it still hurts like hell, don't get me wrong, but I know what I went through the first time, and it was rough, and I was in a really dark place for quite a while. So I am happy that it wasn't quite that bad. Not to say that it's all sunshine and rainbows right now, because it's not. So, I was going to keep how I got from point A to point B in the last week to myself, but I've decided that maybe something in this mess of thoughts that I'm about to throw at you will help someone out here, console someone. I have a particular someone out there that I have in mind, and you know who you are. But we put our lives out here, and we never know just who might be watching, so it's not just about me, it's about everybody else, and this is my way of passing the support on to others. Because emotions are not easy to record. They're not easy to record. That last, the part 2, that was really hard for me to do, and this one isn't quite as hard, but it's difficult. So, where does that leave me? What's next? Well, I think the first thing, the first couple of things I want to say is some of the things that people said to me that really helped. Some of the things were literally said to me by people that I know. Some of them were said to me by you guys through comments on here, on Facebook. It's hard to explain with me, but things just resonate with me. When I'm least expecting it, somebody will say something, or I will see something that just really helps. It strikes a chord, so to speak. So I've got a little list here, because there's no way I would remember people's exact words. And I hope I wrote everything down properly, so I just want to read these off. I'm not going to mention any names, and what I'm saying is kind of a compilation of things that everyone said, and I just kind of put it all together into one thing. So here are some of the things that were said to me that really helped. We ask why, but we never get an answer, and never will. We aren't meant to understand everything or know the big picture. I guess if we did, everyone's life trail would be perfect, and where it would lead would be perfect, because we'd always choose the road with the best result. Humans just aren't capable of that. When this happens, you can either move on alone or dig in your heels and accept that God had a reason for allowing this to happen. That's a rough one, but it's true. One person, oh my gosh, one person said they started a YouTube account just to comment on that video that I posted, and that, oh my gosh, that really means something to me. I really appreciate that. And one of the things that person said was, we start to listen to the voices in our heads and start to believe all the lies that the devil wants us to believe. I'll get back to that in a little bit. I personally said I needed a sign. I said I needed a sign in that last video. And all these comments were signs, that's for sure. And also, you know, it's funny how things work. A couple of days after I said I needed a sign, I was just randomly watching a lot of vlogs on here. I was way behind. My watch later list was getting way out of hand. And I just randomly started watching vlogs. Nothing about anything particular. Some of them were TTC related. Some of them were pregnancy related. Some of them were just completely random videos. And there was a couple of videos where people said things that really affected me and in some ways really helped. And I have that written down here too. As an example, one was a Veda video that I somehow completely missed. Pretty sure you're going to know who you are if you're watching this. I thought I had watched all of the Veda videos because, like I said, we're talking April. That's, for anybody who doesn't know, Veda is vlog every day in April and August. These are Aprils, so obviously you would think I would have watched all of them by now since it's the end of June. But for some reason there was one left on my list that I didn't watch, and it wasn't even the end of the month. It was the beginning of the month. So talk about, it's funny how things work out. What this person said, and I won't get into what the Veda video was about, but what the person said was they were doing a tag. I'll mention that and just leave it alone. It was a tag about controversial subjects, and what the person said was this: there are bad things that happen, and we think, how can God allow that? There's a lot of theology behind that, but quite honestly, the Lord gives us free will. But one day that is all going to be healed. When the Lord returns, it's all going to be better. I think He allows things to happen because He gives us the freedom to choose. In the other video that somebody said something, it was a labor and delivery story, which can have some meaning all of its own, considering what we're talking about here. Miscarriage and loss and dealing with it. Again, no names, but the person said she couldn't understand why she had to go through 3 years of infertility, not knowing why they couldn't conceive. Why it was so hard for them, and watching it come so easily for others. She said that the journey brought her closer to God, and at the end felt that was the whole reason why she had to go through it. God called her for a relationship, and now they have one, and her faith has never been stronger. So that's my list. I'll put this down. So, what did I learn? That there's always two ways to look at things. That I needed a new perspective. It's not easy to do either, but I choose to be happy. Not to say that, you know, the past didn't suck and an event doesn't suck that happens to you, or whatever. I have to choose to be happy regardless. Because I don't want to be sad, I don't want to be depressed, I don't want to be bitter. That's just not me. that's somebody else. I don't know who else, but it's not me. And that's hard. That's hard, because to choose the opposite of what everything else is telling you how to feel, that's difficult, and it's a choice not to allow other things to be in control of my emotions. That's the bottom line. And it's hard. It's not an easy thing. It's easy to say. It's very easy to say. So you see the smile here, but that doesn't mean that there's still not voices in the back of my head or tears that want to come out. I'm sure it'll still be that way for a while. But I can't let those things overwhelm me. I just can't. And now that I think about it, I think I may have said something similar to this after my first loss. And actually, technically, it would have been a number of months after my first loss, because 2 out of the first 3 vlogs I ever did on here were my history. It was like a 2-part thing. And the first loss was the part 2. And I think I remember saying something similar to this, that I choose to be happy. So I don't know what that says about it, but there you go. Well, I'm sure my God-loving friends out there are just waiting to hear my conclusion on my thoughts on that. What I'm about to say, pretty much, it's, what's the word? Completely overtook just about every thought for the last number of days, because I needed to get through this. I needed to figure out what I was okay with and what I wasn't, what I believed in, what I didn't, so that I can move forward. So, here we go. The important part. I do believe in God. I do. I feel bad for questioning that, because I am a God-loving girl. I'm not, don't take me the wrong way, I'm not a holy roller, but it is part of who I am. I do believe, and I'm not going to get into why, because that's a whole nother vlog for a whole nother day, for a whole nother story. But that's the bottom line. And one other thing. While I do believe, I do think I need to move down this path. I think I need to do the rest of this journey with the realization that while I believe in God, I don't think I believe in His path. I just don't think that's how it works. And let me explain that. I don't want anybody to think I'm being negative. I'm not. This is just another way of thinking, and it's what works for me. The best way I can describe it is, we tell ourselves as humans a lot of things to make ourselves feel better, or to explain the unexplainable, to have faith in something we can't see or prove, or something tangible. We always need things to explain concepts like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, I need it to sit well with me. I need it to make sense in my own brain. That's not saying anything bad about anybody else, what you believe in, what you don't. I'm just talking about me personally. I need to make some kind of logic out of it. That doesn't mean that I need to be able to prove it, or I need to be able to touch it, or I need to be able to see it. All that means is my brain needs to be okay with it. So, that being said, while I am going to continue to be a God-loving girl, I'm also going to believe that He gave us free will. That's what makes sense to me. Free will, you know what, I've said before, I've said many times before, I was raised Catholic. The concept of free will is in Catholicism. It's also in a lot of other religions. But It's viewed very many different ways. Sometimes it's viewed as the only way, free will, and that's it. And sometimes there's his path, his will, his blessings, and free will. That last little conglomeration is probably a pretty good description of Catholicism. So, while I am Catholic, understand I don't always believe in everything exactly to a T that's in my religion. I can think of a couple other religions that would probably be a better description of what I'm about to describe, but that's fine. I'm going to believe that he gave us free will. He put us here. He absolutely put us here. But the rest is up to us. Essentially, the Eden theory. Take the apple or don't take the apple. I think that has everything to do with everything. We can't just say some stuff is free will and other stuff is his plan. That's not okay with me. I'm going to believe that he didn't cause these problems. He didn't cause my problems. He didn't cause your problems. He didn't cause anybody's problems. Technically, we did. Not necessarily me. Absolutely could be me, but not necessarily me. Maybe generations that came before me, genetics passed down to us. I don't know, things that my parents chose, things that my parents' parents chose, and certainly choices I've made. There are plenty of things that have changed in the modern world. Plenty of things we put in our bodies, plenty of things we're subjected to environmentally and physically that have changed in the last how many decades, and we don't even know what the repercussions of most of those things are. So those are the kind of choices I'm talking about. The reasons, those could be reasons behind why some of us end up on this journey and other people don't. I will never know the answer, but that's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to believe. In general, free will. And, well, there was one comment that I mentioned that helped me, that I said I'd get back to in a second, and that had to do with believing things that the devil wants us to believe. So, in my opinion, if you believe in one, you got to believe in the other. Otherwise, neither one exists. So that's me. That's me. God, yes. Technically, devil, yes. You know, one on each shoulder. You got to figure out which one you're going to listen to. But path, no. Greater plan, no. Nothing is written. It's up to us. And that includes my small, tiny, itty-bitty little trivial part of humankind, this whole world, the whole universe, whatever way you want to look at it. It's not written. So I choose to move forward and try again. Because if I don't, nobody will. I am the only one who can write the chapters of my life. God gave me this life, and it's up to me to do something with it. And if I don't keep moving forward, and I don't keep trying and trying and trying and trying again if I have to, if I don't do that, then my final chapter is already written. And I don't like it, so I want to rewrite it. There is one other thing I learned. Oh, all right. When other people get pregnant, I'm always happy for them. Don't misunderstand anything that I said in that last very over emotional video. I'm always happy for anybody who gets pregnant. Happy that something worked. Finally. Happy that their miracle happened. Happy that they got their rainbow baby after how many failures and losses and miscarriages. If it's somebody outside this community, I'm happy that something just worked, because that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to just work. So regardless of what people's circumstances are, I am always happy when someone gets pregnant. but part of me is always jealous. It's hard not to be. I'm human. You know, we want that for ourselves. But the last couple days, well, let's go with the last 24 hours, has taught me to do my best to get rid of any jealousy. And that's hard too. To just be happy and stick with just being happy. Why? Well, to know what I'm talking about, you will have had to have watched my last video, the Emotions Part 2 video. But I will give a quick little rundown here. I mentioned that I have a close friend who was pregnant with me, and it was almost perfectly timed. And I was so disturbed, I guess you could say, to have to watch her pregnancy for the second time in my journey. The first time, it was going on right before my first loss, while I was still trying to figure out what the heck was going on with us, me and my husband. And when she got pregnant the second time, and then I lost my current baby, or the most recent loss last week. I mentioned in the last vlog that I just didn't know if I could take it, that it would be just so hard. Obviously I'd have to, because she's a good friend, but it would be hard, and it would be rough, and it was part of the reason why it was one of the reasons that was causing me to question the God's path thing. Now I have to fight an overwhelming feeling of guilt. I've worked through that, I have, but it's sad even having to say it. Most of the guilt thing was going on last night, and I worked through that. But she lost a heartbeat too. Her D&C is later this week. And now she's empty too. Obviously I wished no ill will. I would never, ever, ever wish anybody ill will. And I didn't do anything to cause that. But man, last night I was so guilty that I was jealous in the first place. And now I'm just sad. I'm sad for her. I've worked through a lot of my sadness, but now I'm sad for her because, man, I never wanted her to know what any of this felt like. All of us, we hate walking down this path, and we always wish that we were one of the more normal people. I'm not going to call my friend normal because she had her share of problems too. But we all wish that we were someone that it just worked for. But at the same time, we never, ever would wish any of this on our worst enemies. Myself included. Nobody should have to go through any part of this, whether it's the miscarriages, whether it's not getting a positive pregnancy test ever, whether it's going through IVF, whether it's trying IVF and it not working, you name it. None of us ever want anybody to experience any of this hurt or heartache. And now I wish I would have just been strong enough to just be perfectly fine with her pregnancy, whether it was me or not, and just swallow up any jealousy I might have had, because now look what happened. I just want to take her pain away and swallow it up with mine so she doesn't have to deal with it. Because she shouldn't have to. I want to erase any chance there might be of her having secondary infertility problems. Yes, she does have 2 beautiful children. I don't want her to have to walk any part of this path. Not a single step. But they say everything happens for a reason, right? We don't always know what those reasons are. Lord knows I don't always know what those reasons are. And I'm sure my loss and her loss have many more reasons that maybe we'll eventually figure out. Maybe we won't. For right now, the only thing I can say is it's taught me that everyone has struggles and everyone carries their own cross. Somewhere in the middle of all the emotions, she said, I'm just thankful that I have the children that I have. I don't know how I would be if I didn't have them. Then she stopped and said, I don't know how you do it. I said, because I have to. Because we have to, right? And like I said, we were completely unintentional, almost timed bump buddies. And now we went and did this together too. This is not something you want to do together. Losses. You don't want to do that. So, if you're out there watching, I hope some of this has helped you. And next time, there will be a next time for both of us. There will be. And it will work. And that's that. That's everything that I needed to get out. I am going to leave you guys with a slideshow of some of the other things that helped me too. Because it wasn't all just things that people said. Some of it was pictures. Things I ran across completely on accident, and I posted most of them on Facebook. Things that other people posted on my wall. So if you're not connected to my Facebook, I don't want you to miss out on that. So I'm going to end this video with a quick little slideshow excuse me, of some of the pictures and visual thoughts that also helped me. And I'm doing that for my friend, because I know eventually she will see this. And I'm doing that for anybody else out there who might be going through this. You're not alone. And it will work next time. Alright. Talk to you guys later. Bye.